I know, crypto price action is very exciting, but the really amazing thing is the blockchain technology behind it. So in this video we'll use everyone's favorite toy, Lego, to cover the basics of how blockchain works so that everyone can understand it, even without a technical background, just like me. First, let's imagine that this is our blockchain. This end here just symbols that it continues into this direction. To understand it, let's add a new block to the chain. For that, we have three people who want to transfer something: Inuyasha, Obi-Wan and Ninja. Yes, as a kid I really loved Inuyasha, and I had no white hair, so he got this. Deal with it. Ninja and Obi-Wan are probably self-explanatory. Anyway, a new block consists out of three things. First, the transaction details. So let's say that Inuyasha wants to transfer 2 yellow blocks to Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan wants to transfer 2 red blocks to Ninja, and Ninja wants to transfer 2 white blocks to Inuyasha. All of these transactions get recorded in the new block, so that everyone knows who transferred what to whom. So at its basic level, a blockchain is basically just a very secure record of data, in this case transactions. But what makes it so secure? Why can't Ninja just say Obi-Wan transferred all of these blocks to me? I'm glad you asked. There are 2 more things every block contains, as you can see here and here. But before we get into that in a second, imagine that you and your friends develop a secret language that only you can understand. It's like having your own secret code to talk about things that no one else should know. This is similar to how cryptography works in blockchain. It's a key element that keeps all the information safe and ensures that only the right people can access it. I won't dive deeper into it here for simplicity's sake, but it's a main aspect of blockchain. But going back to the 3 things our blocks contain. First of all, we have the data, and then second and third we have the hashes, as you can see here. A hash is basically just a fingerprint. So for simplicity's sake, I'll just call them fingerprints from now on. Every block has its own unique fingerprint that identifies it. So it's basically a reference for the specific block. This block, for example, gets its fingerprint here. If anything in that block should change, for example the color of a Lego piece, this fingerprint also changes completely. Additionally, every block contains a fingerprint of the previous block, as you can see here. This is what links them together and creates a blockchain. So this block also contains a fingerprint of this previous block here. Just like this. Let's say I want to write into this block that this Lego piece was red instead of white. This would change the fingerprint of this block here completely. But because this block also contains the fingerprint of the previous block, you also would need to change this fingerprint. And so forth, basically creating a ripple effect throughout the entire blockchain. And everything would need to be recalculated, which is almost impossible because it takes an immense amount of computing power. This is called immutability and one of the main aspects of blockchain. But our sneaky ninja here could still change a block and recalculate everything, or simply put a block with wrong transactions at the end, right? Well, not quite, because a blockchain has a few more aspects. See, there's not only this one blockchain, but everyone has a copy of the blockchain. Alright, first of all, I did not have enough chains, so we have these black pieces now to connect them together. But as you can easily see now, if Ninja would want to change one thing in the blockchain, everybody else could look at their same copy and validate and confirm that this is not what actually happened. This is unlike the banking system, for example, where you have one central figure that controls everything. A bank could, for example, make a change or say that you can't access your money. The blockchain, however, doesn't have a central authority, as you can see. This is another main aspect of blockchains and called decentralization. If you're not fully convinced that our sneaky ninja can't make any changes yet, let's look at another aspect. Let's say Inuyasha wants to transfer a red piece to Obi-Wan, put it into the next block. If that happens, everyone with a copy of the blockchain needs to validate and agree that this transfer happened. So if Ninja wants to add a fraudulent piece and say, hey, I got a black piece from Obi-Wan, everyone could look at the transaction history and confirm that this did not actually happen. So it would be rejected and not be recorded in the next block. This is the next major aspect of blockchain and is called consensus. Great! Now that you understand the main aspects of blockchain technology, immutability, decentralization, and consensus, let's look at a few real use cases and understand why it's so amazing and much more than just price action on a chart. But first, make sure to hit the like button on this video if the explanation was easy to follow and you could understand it. I would really appreciate it a lot, and it helps more people to see the explanation as well. Imagine you work in America and want to send money to your family in India. Using the banking system takes long, has high transfer costs, and you're completely dependent on the bank. Doesn't sound great to me. You probably already guessed what you can do instead, which is utilizing blockchain technology. Transferring cryptocurrencies to your family via the blockchain just takes a couple of moments, so it's basically instant and doesn't require any middleman. This means it's completely trustless. You don't need to trust a bank with the exchange rates, with the speed of transfer, or with anything else. The small caveat to you being in control is that you are also responsible. So if anything goes wrong, you don't have anyone to talk to. So if you are new to blockchain technology, definitely send small test transactions first. I still send test transactions every time. Let's come to the next use case. Tell me, have you heard about the Athelion data breach? Data, 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 data. It affected multiple organizations around the entire world, also many healthcare organizations. User data was compromised and sensitive information was exposed. Blockchain technology allows medical data to be stored securely, with you being in full control over it and not any centralized authority. This not only keeps anyone from changing it, but it's only you who has access and decides whom to share it with. On top of that, it also makes the hassle of making sure every medical professional has the necessary data they need much easier, also reducing paperwork and unnecessary redundant tests. I hope you are starting to see why I'm so excited about the actual technology and not just about the crypto price action. But let's come to our next example. Voting. Voting can be a very sensitive topic, and there are numerous scandals where votes have been changed or manipulated. With blockchain technology we could solve that, making voting more secure. It ensures that no vote can be tampered with, and its transparency allows for perfect control and oversight, while also ensuring the anonymity of every voter. There are many more use cases, but now I have a confession to make. Remember when I said everyone has a copy of the blockchain? That's not actually true and was a simplification for better understanding. In reality, only the miners or node holders have a copy of the blockchain. Understanding mining or proof of work and the difference to proof of stake is crucial to understand the decentralized nature of blockchain. It also explains what cryptocurrencies actually are. I talk about that in the next video right over here.